Okay, can I get your first and last name spelled out?
First name is Rigo, Rigo. Last name is Vega, Vega.
Okay. Can you just tell me how you got started in the tattoo business?
I started a long time ago messing around with tattoos back in high school. Uh, Very similar to a lot of people back in the day doing tattoos in jail. Not that I've ever been in jail, but with a needle and thread and Indian ink in the same way, just puncturing the skin in repetitious style.
Yeah. And has a like this is a question I'm supposed to ask here. Like how do you is it tough like being a tattoo artist for a living, and or how are you enjoying it?
I love drawing. I've always loved drawing. Always loved art, whether it's still life, lifelike, or even cartoons. Um, it's it's been a great journey. Uh, Other than that, I mean, it's just it is what it is. I love my lifestyle. Most people can't understand it because sometimes business is slow, don't make any money. Sometimes business is great, make a lot of money. So they don't understand how I can go from a steady paycheck to risking not getting paid at all. But it's something that I just love doing. I love drawing.
When we first started out, was it a little bit harder? Did you feel a bit of pressure and stress?
No, because when you're first starting out, you have friends who are willing to get tattooed, and that takes off all the pressure, as opposed to having a stranger come in and be like, "Hey, I want this," and you're like, "I don't know you," you know. There was no pressure. It just made it that much easier because it was friends and family that I was tattooing.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how tattoos become more of an art form rather than graffiti? More and more artistic.
Well, they go hand in hand. Graffiti. Anybody that does graffiti is obviously into art, and anybody that does art is obviously will not necessarily accept graffiti, but definitely will appreciate some art forms. You know.
I worded that wrong. I meant to say like how it's becoming more and more mainstream and less of what like convicts had as sailors, bikers.
I think the transition in tattoos has become more of a expressive form of art as opposed to being very, what's the word, uh, subjected to just being only convicts or only gang members or only bad people. Now we have people in professions that will get tattoos for different reasons. For example, when I first started getting tattooed on my arm, it was to represent life and death. I lost my grandfather, I lost my godmother, so I needed something to represent them. And I think that's what a lot of people are going towards now, where it's a very meaningful uh, piece of art that's going to go on them, and they're not going to be like looked at as a druggie or a convict or somebody bad.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank